Yeah.
Okay, the manager said to take your questions on the game. If you'd like to put your hand up.
Jose, is it fair to say it was a good night apart from Pogba's injury?
Yeah, 3 important points. First match at home. Now we finish at home too, which give us a chance to play here the last match in case of we need these points to qualify. But in between we have difficult matches away at home. But to start with 3 points at home, I think is always important.
Jose, what's up with Pogba? He looks quite serious.
I don't know honestly, but by experience, just by looking and feeling it, I think is an hamstring. Big, small, I don't know, but an hamstring for sure.
Jose doesn't really seem to come out of the competition for Romelu. He's scoring almost every game now. He seems to be delighted with his goals and his all-round play.
You know, for a striker is important. Their performances are many times analyzed by scoring or not scoring. I'm happy with his performance overall, scoring, not scoring, but the reality is that he's nice. He's nice for him, nice for Rashford to score goals. And first match for them in the Champions League and score a goal, I think is also a nice moment for them.
Mourinho, what do you think about the performance from FC Basel?
You know, I think they follow the trendy tactic of the 5 in the back. That some of your colleagues, they like to call it 3 in the back, but totally wrong. It's 5. They were very well organized. They were trying to close every space, which they did for a long period of the game. And then after the 2-0, the coach changed for 4 in the back, gave more freedom to Lang, put more players in attacking areas. They understood that my players after the 2-0 they changed their mentality and their approach, and then they showed the qualities that they also have, and they created a little problems. I think the 3-0 is a little bit against the wave of the game in this period. But as I was saying before the group phase, I think in this group any team can take points from another team. CSK won in Lisbon. I think Benfica can win in Moscow, and all these results can happen. I think it's an open group.
Hello, Jose Alvarez for Jugones. I want to ask you about Ander Herrera. He was a key player last season, and in the last 5 games, he only started 1, and today was out of the squad. What happened with him? Reasons for being out?
No, the reasons to be out is we are playing only with 2 midfield players, with Matic and Pogba, which are playing really well and without reason to change. The only match that we decided to play with 3, he played. Today we went back to 2 again, and I had on the bench Carrick and Fellaini, which were also important players in the last season. We have a group of players, and the players, they must be ready to play, not to play. Ashley Young was not on the bench in the last match, and today he started the match and he played for 19 minutes. And the next match you can have another surprise of some player that you think is going to play and is not going to play. Is the squad we have. I have to use the players, and that's the life in clubs with squads of quality.
How impressive was Ashley Young's numbers returning? Delaney did everything you said.
It was impressive, but not a surprise. You know, I play him in a Champions League match, and I left Antonio Valencia on the bench because I know that what he could do. So what he did was not different than what he did last season when I played him last season. In so many positions, he's always positive in his answer. He had a big injury last year, surgery, recovery, but he's really intense, and his approach is intense every training session. So I was not sure 90 minutes, but I knew that 60, 70 minutes he could do the same kind of football that Antonio Valencia does, which is an attacking fullback.
Jose, Victor came in with his home debut. Does he give you something to think about for Premier League? Would he be ready for Premier League now? How would you assess his performance?
You know, if he has to play Premier League, he plays. There is no problem with that. Can he make a mistake, and can he make the kind of mistake that has a relation with being adapted to the Premier League, to the nature of the Premier League? I think he can. But now the nature of the Premier League is also changing. And I think we need defenders that can play. We need defenders that can come into the midfield, bringing the ball, passing, because it's becoming really defensive. And we are going to face many teams with 5 in the back plus 2, 3 in front, with blocks of defensive attitude. And Victor, from all our defenders, is probably the one with more quality when he attacks the space in midfield. So yes, he's going to play in midfield. He's going to play in the Premier League. And we have these 4 defenders. I'm happy with the 4. Smalling also had a very solid performance, so fine.
Okay, sorry, question here. Sorry.
Just on Smalling and Lindelof there, I mean, how useful can a game like this be to those two, Jose, in terms of getting them up to full fitness, having not played very much?
But they train really hard. They train together, always in the same team, because I knew that they had to play this match together. If you want to anticipate the next weekend, I probably play Bailly and Jones, because today they didn't play, because they are fresh, because it makes sense for them to play again. But then 2 days after we have League Cup match, so Victor and Smalling again. So we need this. And in the Premier League and in the Champions League, I have to choose the players in relation to the qualities. As I was saying before to your colleague, when I know that in the Premier League I'm going to face one of these defensive walls, probably Victor is the best to come with the ball, to attack spaces in midfield, to find people in between the lines. So, what I want is to have the players available, and sometimes they are not playing, but for me as a manager, it's important to have options.
Okay, last 2 questions. One here.
Jose, you really talked up Fellaini prior to the game. You really saw him as an attacking force today with the goal, the assist for the 3rd goal. Is that one of the best performances he's produced for you?
To remember a Fellaini bad performance, I have to go back to last season, but in the beginnings, and it was not even a bad performance. It was just a naive mistake when he made a penalty in the last minute at Goodson Park. Apart of that, Fellaini contributions to my team are always positive. When he starts, when he's on the bench, he's a very important player for me.
Okay, last question. Oh, same question, was it? Okay, all right, thanks, guys.
Can I just ask Jason, there's been some big scores tonight at PSG, Chelsea. What does that tell us about the Champions League? Are the smaller teams getting weaker, or the big sides just getting more and more powerful?
I think the Champions League for these teams that you are speaking, and for the Real Madrids and Barcelonas and Bayerns, I think for these teams, the Champions League starts in February. And now it's just the warming up. And in February, when us English teams, we are trying to survive after the winter period, they are fresh and ready after this warm-up. For them, this is a warm-up. I think we are in the second level, and the second level is let's qualify, let's make the points to qualify for the knockout phase, and when we do that, if we do that, let's enjoy to play against the big guys.
Okay, thanks guys.